players are ready to do battle between the Toronto Mounties and the New York Jets. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. A first carry for the former Oklahoma Sooner, Joe Mixon. Brings it up just shy of the 25. Showed some of that quickness there on the move. 5 yards on the game's first play. Second down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Gets by him, and now a little daylight. And a big play there on second down, but we do have a flag on the field. This is in the area where it might be coming back. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Now they face a second and long following the holding penalty. Darnold from the gun. And this one caught by Travis Kelce. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. A Jet first down, 18 big yards that time. And a nice start there to the aerial attack to pick up the first.
And I think preseason is officially over now. Getting into the groove of the regular season, that's a great way to get started. First drive of the season, what a nice completion.
Now a play fake here on first down. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
To throw on second and 10, Darnold. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Jets move the chains.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now second and 10.
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out.
Out of the shotgun, they run with Mixon. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a third down.
Brings up third down and 11. Real side. 55, Mike 55. I'm coming, I'm coming.
Throwing here on third down, Darnold. Open man is Anderson. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. So the ref takes a peek here, wants to see if the receiver had possession and both feet inbounds.
If this were a college game, this would be a legal catch. It's the second foot that they're looking at to make sure it gets down. You have to have 2 inbounds in the NFL.
This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. Out of bounds and close. The question, was it a touchback? No. They'll say it crossed out at the 2-yard line. Excellent placement, and off that bounce, Charles, I didn't know where it was going to go. It can be an inexact science as to where they place it, but they say the 2-yard line.
Yeah, I don't know how they really determined that. And let's face it, at the end of that play, one side's going to be happy, the other team's going to be unhappy. So, what do they do, shorten the hypotenuse? I mean, how do they figure that out? You know that stuff. You're the smart guy.
Oh, that's you, partner. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up second and 5.
At the 7-yard line.
60 or. Ready? Put up.
Someone moved. Flag is out. That's going to be 5 yards.
And that'll drive coaches crazy. You work all week on dealing with loud crowds, on dealing with motion, and then you have a guy jump.
The false start hurts him there a bit. Backs him up to 2nd and 9. Bell. And he's able to get this across the 10 before being taken down. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter.
Check.
Now a first down carry by Bell. He'll have a first down past the 40. And he takes it all the way up to the 47. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
To throw on 2nd down. Duncan finding Green complete. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says. He says out at the 8-yard line. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong, you know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
On first down, it's Darnold. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
They go play action here on first down. He finds his running back, Mixon. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Jet first down.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backs out of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down.
Watch the run, watch the run.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Darnold. And his throw here's incomplete. He was trying to find his tight end, Chris Herndon. And it's 3rd down.
It's now 3rd down and 14.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
59, Mark, 59. Five.
The shotgun snap for Darnold. And it's complete to Kelsey. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. No score after one on EA Sports. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Now it's Darnold. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. Well, why do you go out and spend a first-round pick on a defensive back? Plays like that, the rookie gets his first interception.
Exactly right, and you're trying to limit the number of plays an offense runs. You're trying to limit the number of possessions they have. And he was a guy that I targeted coming out of college and rated very highly for his playmaking skills on defense.
And now he has his first career interception. A pass there over the middle to start things out. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down. They'll run on first down. It's Bell. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
2nd and 4. Gets this one to Le'Veon Bell. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 11 yards there, first down.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot, and you're seeing...
And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes. Quinnen Williams forced his way through, drops him for a loss of 10 yards. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Back to throw. Duncan under pressure again, and down he goes again. Ja'Kai Polite, he's the one that drops him this go-around, and that pass rush getting strong here. Back-to-back sacks. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Operating from the gun. Duncan. Caught here by Bell. 14 yards, but they're still well shy of a first as that leads to 4th down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
It's on target, but it's no good. He had it online, but it came up just shy of the crossbar, and this will remain a scoreless game.
Chance there from long distance to get our first points on the board. How close was it to getting there? Pretty darn close.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. The result's not great thus far. A punt on the first drive and an interception last time out.
And let's face it, every team wants to come out on the field and play with some confidence, play with some tempo, play with some rhythm. And when you're making those types of mistakes, you're not getting any of that put together.
So what do you say, time to get back to the basics for them?
In a lot of ways, yes, but the biggest one, of course, is finding people who will take care of the football and make a few plays. You got to have a drive now that calms down the entire team.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Here's Darnold. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. Darnold and the Jets come up 3rd and long following the sack.
Here we go, D. It's just
3rd and long, it's Darnold. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. And to the 46 he goes and no further, so he is well short of the first down marker. And the screen only good for 3 that time, and it'll bring up a 4th down. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. That one sails out of bounds. The side judge will walk it off. And he says it went out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Nice punt. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game. But this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football. Because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
After the penalty, it's Bell. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
I'm coming after you. Score. Check now.
Looking to throw on second down. Duncan. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on third down.
That would have been a great catch, but it was real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to hold that one in.
To throw on third down. Duncan. Aguilar has it. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 23 yards, the final tally. 2 minutes on the clock in what's been a scoreless first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. They run with Bell on first down as he'll get forward for about 5 yards. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. 2nd and 5. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. So flag for the contact, pass interference.
And I know that you're going to look at me and roll your eyes, and rightfully so, because you know what I'm going to say. Doesn't the defender have a right to the football as well?
No, I don't like defenders.
That's because you spend too much time with me. Okay, I'll side with you on this one. Here's the correct call.
23 yards on the play. This will be their first trip to the red zone. They've got it 1st and goal to go. Looking to throw. Duncan toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Ryan Switzer, the one he was looking for, but it'll be 2nd and goal. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal. And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. This Jet defense so far standing tall. They need another stop now, 3rd and goal. And the lane closes quickly for Bell, and he did not make it. Now the Jets going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. They come out here in the eye. The offense is staying out there. Here we go on 4th and goal from the 1. They'll try and sneak it here. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. It's their quarterback, keeping it himself from a yard out, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. Extra point safely through, and that makes the score 7-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And you have to figure they won't just sit on the football here in the final minute. The way things have gone, they need to try to make something happen offensively.
But maybe they should. Maybe they should sit on.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Crayvon LeBlanc with a pick. The tight end Kelsey was the intended target.
You're trailing. You're trying to get points late in half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with that good field position they just took over with. That's caught at the 25. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. This quarterback now 8 of 11 in this first half. He's got it 1st and 10. From the gun, Duncan. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Going to throw deep for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Marcus May with a pick.
When you're in man coverage, you have help over the top, you become a much more confident defender. Trail the receiver and know that someone over the top can make a play, and that's exactly what happened here. The free safety coming up with the interception.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on 1st down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops, and if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Back to throw, Darnold. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. He was looking for his tight end, Kelsey, and now it's 3rd down. So on 3rd down, the field goal unit will come out as he'll try to get 3 before half. On the left hash mark, this a 38-yard attempt. And the kick by Butker is good. So a late turnover leads to a quick drive, and in turn that quick drive leads to 3 points.
So someone makes a mistake, but how about the other side learning from that mistake, taking care of the ball, and making sure they put some points on the board? Well done.
So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit him with something else.
Bell running on first down as he'll push forward for about 3. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments and doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Again, it's Bell. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up third down. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Operating from the gun, Duncan. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Marcus May with a pick. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line.
I'll tell you, Brandon, it seems like this guy's been all over the field so far. That's his second interception of the game. And so much of playing defense in the NFL, especially when it comes to defending the pass, is all about positioning and technique. And this is fantastic work on both fronts there.
A gain of 3, second down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
I'm going back to you. Say.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Nixon. And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. Joe Mixon, 27 yards. And the Jets have taken the lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run. And one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. The run there on first down, going to get them 5 up to the 30. So that flag will cost them 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
53, check 53. 3 bucks.
From the gun, Duncan. And incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, second down.
My man's getting a little loose with the football there, right? Interception before, almost had one here. He's got to start taking better care of it.
Yeah, really should have been back-to-back drives with interceptions. He's lucky there. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Back to throw. Duncan. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with him.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
The first down line at the 34 here on third down. Operating from the gun, Duncan. He's got this complete to Ryan Switzer. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Down here in the third quarter, obviously that's one they could have used.
Yeah, and one of my favorite special teams coaches in the NFL told me what separates the kickers in the NFL versus the ones who are not is not the misses. It's the second miss in a row. Best kickers in the league, they don't miss 2 in a row. He's got to get his head back together in case he gets another shot.
He's got a man. It's his fullback. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
Darnold now 9 of 16 through the air as he's got it 1st and 10. They run with Howard. And a short gain down to about the 33. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Let's go, D. Red 80. Red 80. Kill.
Now Darnold. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 22. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10.
Keep it up, defense. Keep it up, guys.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Green brings it in.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Now Bell, and he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
Let's go, team. Don't be all day on this.
Throwing on 1st down. Duncan. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. To throw again, Duncan. And it'll be intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And the return just out across the 15 to the 16-yard line. So their woes on offense continue. That's the 2nd pick thrown here in the 3rd quarter.
And we know it was ill-advised, but that was an opportunity to help them get back into the game. Instead, he throws another interception, and now their task is even tougher.
Trying to shake off the interception, he'll look to throw.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. with his first career touchdown in his first career game. And the Jets will extend their lead. Point after, right down the middle. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do.
Here we go, G, get off the field.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. To throw on second down, Duncan. It's caught by Aguilar. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. On first down, Duncan. He'll get this one to Switzer. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. They'll run it with Bell. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the first down there, but as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. From the gun, Duncan. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
Darnold going to lead the Jets up now, 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. Now Joe Mixon. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 17 yards for the Jets there as they've got themselves a 1st down. Back to Mixon on 1st down. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Jets 1st down. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you?
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Darnold down to throw. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a 4th pick. And it's 3rd down.
I'm trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown in. Frankly, that should have been another pick right there. Here's Darnold. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and they're going to have a 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Duncan. Completes it to Aguilar. That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against them.
And this 3rd down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long. Looking to throw. Duncan. And Eifert has it. 21 yards there on 3rd down. 4th quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the 2nd touchdown. You got the first one for the 2nd one to even matter.
He's going to air it out deep for Green, and that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Duncan. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. you're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Now on 3rd down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete.
And I think we'll probably see him go for it here on 4th down. No reason not to. Down a couple of scores, they have to try and make something good happen.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Back to throw. Duncan. And the catch good. It's Eifert. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead. That's going to leave them with just one remaining here in this 4th quarter. So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. From the gun, Duncan. Open man is Switzer, complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. It's a gain of 22 as we tick towards the 2-minute warning. On 1st and 10, Duncan. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. So it's our visitors with a football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Throwing on 3rd and long. Duncan, he's going to let it fly. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. Looking to throw. Duncan. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Carl Lawson in there to drop him as that clock continues to run.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on 1st and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. Back-to-back great plays defensively. You get the sack on 1st and goal, a great job in coverage there. All of a sudden, they're looking at 3rd and goal from further back than when they started.
And the really good play callers look ahead and down and distance sequence. Now he's got to backtrack a little bit and go maybe off his play sheet to try and dial something up here.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. Well, so a drive that spans all that time, and yet you may only come away with 3 points here.
Well, your defense, all right, they actually like these long drives. They get to rest over on the sidelines for a while. But when you're not finishing with points in terms of touchdowns.
And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Now for the point after. And it's good. The deficit 6, 20-14. So they got one of the 2 touchdowns they needed. Now for the onside kick. And the Jets have got it. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though, now. This one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
Man, that's trash. That's trash.
They go down to a knee, and the new campaign off to a good start. It's a win here in Week 1.
I do get a kick out of seeing a team kneel down at the end of the game in victory formation and wrap one up, because most of the time a kneel down is not a good thing in football. In this case, it's the best thing for the team that's winning.
Best thing Week 1 and 1-0 after going down to that knee. So it's a victory here for the New York Jets. And with that, our journey begins, Charles. Week 1 in the books. Going to be a great season.
Oh, man, so much to look forward to. Isn't it nice to get a really good game right out of the gate? Preseason behind us. All these games count now, don't they?
Yeah, this is the exciting time with just 1 week gone and plenty of weeks to come. So for the Jets, that'll be a happy locker room as they start this season 1-0. And